Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy One Punch Bandit back at it with another video. Hey, today's video we got 10 dark theories and popular kid shows that you will only notice when you're older. Now, here's the thing with the kids popular shows. Now, me personally, I'm a 2000 baby, but you have some, a little bit way back 1990s or whatever. Shows like Hey Arnold and Andre 3000. Some of y'all probably won't even know that, but shows like that, people now will miss out on because I feel like the 2000 babies had like the good shows, and the fact that like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, they getting rid of these shows. I don't think they should do that because like the only running show that I know that's been running for years and still going and dropping new episodes is SpongeBob. I could sit there, I don't care how old I could get, I can watch SpongeBob all day if I really wanted to. But hopefully don't, depends on what the TV show is, because I was a cartoon type of guy, but it's like I'll watch Nick every now and then. But let's get into this video, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Oh yeah, this was sent in by Timmy. Timmy, you just added me out of nowhere, and you sent in the video. I'm glad that you took out the time to send me a video. So, to you, thank you. But let's get into the video, bro. Let's get it. Okay, CBR. Hey, y'all, go subscribe.
Children's shows. They're the harmless stuff that you put on for your kids because you want to go to your happy place for some peace and quiet. But what if we told you that it was a bad idea because these shows harbor some messed up stuff? We mean really messed up in some cases. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and join the notification squad. You won't regret it. But
that's what y'all should be doing. Y'all should be subscribing. You ain't gonna get this type of content right here. Not for anybody else. Come on now.
GG. Prehistoric future. What if we told you that Hanna-Barbera produced a cartoon starring a family of 4 living in the faraway future with a pet? You'd say, well, obviously, who doesn't know about the Jetsons? But that's not what we were talking about, sucker. In fact, this theory proposes that both the Jetsons and the Flintstones happened at the same time.
Brother Rubble, please, I'm not through yet.
This, of course, is due to income inequality. Seriously, when civilization was bombed back to the Stone Age because of nuclear war, society had to rebuild using Stone Age materials for modern tech. That was for the plebeians of Earth, though. The richer folk were able to live high above the clouds in Orbit City,
just east of Orion in the high-fashion, trendy section of the galaxy.
George Jetson's white-collar job gave him the money to move, while the Flintstones didn't have enough to move. Considering that both shows were made during a time where Americans were afraid of a nuclear attack from Russia, this may make more sense than we care to admit. Okay, sure, this doesn't explain why places are named after rocks and minerals, and then Dino opens up a whole new can of worms, but come on, work with us here. Red Wolf. You know, for as smart as some members of the Mystery Machine team are, they never really question how the heck they have a talking dog. We turned to Reddit to fill in the missing gaps, and they did not disappoint. Through a combination of real-world history and some imagination, we have the definitive answer on Scooby-Doo's origin. So for the origin of the crime-solving pooch, we have to go back to Soviet Russia. You see, the real-life Soviet Russia actually did send dogs into space during the 50s and 60s. In the Scooby-Doo universe, it's...
So you telling me you sent a dog to space? Now, how am I supposed to believe that? How am I? Please tell me. And my thing, y'all pretty much saying, okay, you seen a dog, so-called claim a dog went to space. How did you get this information? Something that we don't know about? Government? I know you watch.
Theorized that Russia furthered their experiments to create advanced intelligence dogs. They mostly failed except Scooby-Doo. One of the researchers on the project took pity on the poor pooch and fled with him to the US.
Just so happened to Scooby-Doo. Man, y'all be trolling me, man. Y'all be trolling me. Ain't no other dog survived but Scooby-Doo.
The owner died soon after arriving, eventually resulting in Scooby meeting up with Shaggy and joining up with the rest of the mystery team. And as for the reason why Scooby can't speak properly, it's because while he can understand human speech, his mouth doesn't allow him to speak properly. Boom! Scooby-Doo origin story.
Alright, Neptune, let's get it on!
Bikini Ground Zero. Like our theory surrounding Scooby-Doo, this theory combines real-world history into a children's cartoon to create one hell of a story. A little geography lesson for you viewers. Bikini Bottom is actually located under the real Bikini Atoll. Atoll is part of an island country called the Marshall Islands near the equator in the Pacific Ocean. Why would this matter? Because this part of the country was used by the United States back in 1946 to test nuclear bombs. Just as in the comic books, radiation doesn't kill you but grants you powers. These bombs allegedly created the life we now see in Bikini Bottom. This answers the question as to how the citizens are all alive and sentient. Hey, don't look at us like that. Radiation in comic books has created Spider-Man and the Hulk. Don't tell us that SpongeBob is any weirder than a scientist who transforms into a giant beast without ripping his pants. While the theory doesn't explain some of the other questions on the show, we think it does a good job explaining a way that a squid can talk.
Who said that?
Down here.
Now, if someone could explain to us how a crab was able to have a child that's a whale, we'll be all set. But we'll come back to Bikini Bottom later.
Like when she wants something, she says,
Oh, bro, man. Alright, let me pause this right quick, bro. Simpsons. Simpsons is one of the most terrified type of shows I don't watch. It's getting very deep and creepy. It's like half of me want to watch it, half of me don't want to watch it because of the things they've been predicting in the show. It's been coming to real life. The thing with Kobe, R.I.P. to Kobe, man. Kobe, Donald Trump, the Super Bowl. I think it was Trayvon Martin. They predicted that. I'm like, dude, y'all predicting all of this stuff and it's coming, into reality. That kind of like, get me shook because like I'm not supposed to expect that from a show. A show don't normally give you out hints like they've been doing. It's like it's pretty much premonition if you think about it. You can see it before it happens. And it's like if they got so many episodes, oh my god. And it just keep going on and on and on. It'll take literally probably a whole year just to watch all them episodes. It's just their predictions and making things come to life is very weird because, dude, man, I think when it really killed me when Kobe died. When I seen that on what happened to that episode, I went back and rewatched it, and I'm like, dude, that's so sad. A show is literally predicting your death. It's crazy. Hey, Simpsons, like I said, I'll watch the Simpsons if it's funny or whatever, but half of me don't want to watch it because of predictions. So
Maggie's future. Even after all these years with The Simpsons being on the screen, we still haven't seen the family age. One-off episodes aside, of course. As much as we complain, perhaps the town of Springfield should be happy with this because Maggie would probably grow up to be a sociopath. Sound too far-fetched? Well, let's look at the evidence. It was established in the episode Smart and Smarter, as well as A Streetcar Named Marge, that despite not being able to talk, she's immensely smart for her age.
Oh my god, you're not just smart,
Yeah.
you're brilliant.
Knowing this, it's crazy that she tries to take out Homer by attacking him with a nail gun, a mallet, and a pencil. Wait, you say. What about the times where Maggie has saved Homer's life? Well, you see, the only reason why Maggie did this was because she wanted to be the one to off the fat man. You know what this means? We have to see Stewie Griffin and Maggie Simpson fight it out in a baby battle. Once Maggie takes out Homer, Maggie will go on to slaughter others, presumably while still being mute. Okay, we threw in that last part, but that would be a funny twist.
Whom I suspect could be our arch nemesis, Dr. Claw, using a clever alias.
The true Inspector Gadget.
now I ain't never watched the TV show of that.
Sorry.
But the
theme got my
movie?
head again. Seriously, this is like the fourth time
Movie's
I've tried to
pretty
record
good.
this and, sorry. As we know, Inspector Gadget stars an incompetent police detective.
Like I
who
said, you gonna
manages
have
to
them
save
shows
the day
where you
time
just
and
don't know
time
what
again
it is,
thanks to his
but
robotics and brilliant
some
moves.
shows are
Gadget
made out of
always has
movies.
to take down the evil Dr.
kinda
Claw
weird.
and his numerous agents.
What an honor for him. Just doing my job.
Dr. Claw is never given a reason from the show as to why he does the things he does. That's where this theory fills in the gaps. According to the theory, Dr. Claw is actually the original Inspector Gadget. That is, Claw was the human version of the Inspector we all know and love, who unfortunately had a terrible accident. The accident warped his mind and was bad enough that he was assumed dead by his police station. Now that the police have created a robotic duplicate of him, this psychopath is on a warpath to destroy the thing that's stolen his life. Ugly toy and poor live-action movie aside, we'd never seen Dr. Claw's face. The show's writers don't want to reveal the secret after all.
George. Hey, that's
the
all,
oldest
bro.
characters on this list. Curious George
I'm
is
sorry,
a
bro. For the 2000 babies, hey, we gonna rep, bro. We gonna rep. You hear me? Hey, Curious George, that was one of the good shows. I used to wake up in the morning and watch that and Caillou, bro. Man,
happy-go-lucky little monkey that finds
hey,
himself in trouble wherever
them
he
shows
goes.
hit different.
And boy, does he get around.
Hey, comment with y'all
that
favorite
came
show
out
down
wrong.
below.
What we meant to say was he finds himself in zany adventures, and the people of Manhattan just seem to be a-okay with it. But how could that be? After all, George does cause some major problems in the town, but he never gets reprimanded. Well, that's because George has superpowers. Obviously, the theory goes that George has unexplained powers which keep the city prosperous and safe. Think about it. Children are able to walk around alone with no worry of stranger danger. All the old people are uncharacteristically healthy and alert, and there's practically no crime. Heck, George's powers are so good that Batman is looking to recruit him for his next Robin. This also explains why everyone in Manhattan is cool with him despite whatever mischief he gets in, because it's better than the alternative of no George. While this theory is admittedly vague, we don't see any better ideas about how this show works. Do you?
What shall we watch next? Three's Company?
Vampire Street. It's likely that for a lot of us, Sesame Street might have been the first ever TV show that we watched. The classic characters, the lessons, the costumes, Sesame Street is really meant for any age. So of course it has to harbor a dark secret. Is there nothing sacred in this world? The theory stars the resident vampire on Sesame Street, Count Von Count. The theory starts off by stating that the Count is keeping the adults under his spell. Count might seem pretty harmless on the surface, but heck, his gimmick is counting. But hold on a second. If he's a vampire, doesn't he have to feed on blood to survive? Well, it's never actually been said flat out that he's a vampire. Why would they say that? The residents of the street are all under his spell anyway, and if they're not, there's his next meal. The show seems to have a revolving door of children, and the reason for that is the Count is picking them off. But wait a minute, you say. The Count can't be in sunlight. Doesn't that prevent this theory? Well, no. All that means is that if Twilight can get away with their version of a vampire, we can allow Sesame Street to do it their way too.
Now to make sure we have enough goodies to keep this road trip rocking.
Fairly odd theory. From the corners of Reddit comes a theory about a little boy named Timmy and his actual no-joke fairy godparents Wanda and Cosmo. The show is about those two fairies helping out Timmy in the daily struggles of a 10-year-old kid. Of course, hijinks ensue. It seems that Wanda and Cosmo are there to pull Timmy out of a jam whenever they need him. That's because Timmy is depressed. The theory goes that Cosmo and Wanda are an allegory for the antidepressants Zoloft and Prozac, respectively. The two fairies warn Timmy that if he overuses their magical powers, that problems will arise. This serves as an allegory for all the side effects of real-life antidepressants. The theory also gets more interesting when you consider the moment that Timmy gets his godparents. It was right in the first episode with the arrival of his evil babysitter Vicky. Also because Timmy's parents being dangerously incompetent and absent from the boy's life, Timmy must rely on the antidepressants to live his life. And you thought the zaniest thing about this show were the live-action movies.
Yep.
No, I ain't never watched that. The RL movie of Fairy Godparent. It's only a certain extent to certain movies, well, certain shows that can turn into a movie. Like, you have to still take that TV show and convert it into an actual cartoon movie and not realistic. Like, for example, what was a good one? Smurfs. Smurfs used to have a little TV show. They changed the characterization into like a 3D form type stuff, but it's still them. It's not actual people, or like what's it called? Bob Burke. Bob Burke has got a movie coming out very soon. They use the same, image that they use in the cartoon version of it, and not actual real people. If it's like that, I'll watch it. But when you start to add people into it,
Just keep getting better
that
every
ain't
year.
ain't how I
Thanks to
roll.
you guys.
Boy, oh boy, were you wrong.
Cause they make the character feel weird.
Legend of affordable universal health care? Something far grander.
Who's in charge? While never quite catching on with the big time
I
like
ain't
some
never
other
watched
TV
that.
shows, Pinky and the Brain was nonetheless a modest hit spawning off from the Animaniacs. The show stars the titular Pinky and the Brain, two mice experimented on by Acme Labs. While one is dim-witted but good-hearted, the other is a sadistic piece of work who schemes to
Take over the world.
Despite his vast intellect, the Brain continuously fails to succeed in his schemes. But how could he get anything done when he has a genius undermining him at every turn? Yup, according to this theory, Pinky's seemingly idiotic behavior is actually a ruse for his true personality. That personality being a benevolent genius who only tolerates Brain to keep him in check.
Hey, Dad, are you going to read me a bedtime story, Brain?
There's a lot of evidence to support this, but we'll just stick to the one piece of evidence from the theme song. One is a genius, the other's insane. They never specify which, and if we go by the order of the names in the title, Pinky is the genius and the Brain is insane. While a world ruled by mice might not be as bad as a world with insect overlords, it still would be pretty
I
bad.
ain't never watched
All
that,
hail Pinky.
Alright, everybody, what am I?
Sinful SpongeBob. SpongeBob SquarePants. Beloved upbeat cartoon that's a Nickelodeon
Like that.
staple.
Like that movie. Okay, that was a SpongeBob movie. Technically, they still had the same form. That's the only thing I like about that.
7 main characters are all
Now, when they brought
iconic for
that
their own
IRL
reasons,
stuff,
but maybe that's because
didn't even
they're
watch
the
it.
7 deadly sins. Let's break it down, starting off with the easy ones. Plankton is insanely jealous of Mr. Krabs' Krabby Patty formula, so there's envy.
And them Krabby Patties, hey. If you know about them Krabby Patties, bro,
Cheap enough to the point that he
put it in the
violates
comment, bro.
health safety protocols,
Small
so
little
there's
Krabby Patty
greed.
come in a little package. I'm trying to be busting.
Yes, well, anyway.
Patrick is lazier than an unemployed stoner, and Squidward is as perpetually angry as he is wet, so there's sloth and wrath, respectively.
I have to tell you something, Squidward.
Whatever it is, can't it wait until we get to work?
There's no shower at work.
What do you want?
Don't forget Texas's favorite squirrel, Sandy, who will defend her home state no matter what, signaling pride. Finally, we have SpongeBob and his pet Gary. Gary is easy enough to pin down as the symbol of gluttony, considering how fast he scarfs down whatever food SpongeBob puts in front of him. Now the main character himself, Mr. SquarePants. While this one is the biggest stretch, the theory concludes that SpongeBob is lust, as he's always excited for whatever he's doing, demonstrating an unhealthy lust for even working slave labor at the Krusty Krab.
Okay, I'll see you at the ceremony.
That sounds like the manager of the new Krusty Krab too.
Well, that's it for our list. Are there any other dark fan theories that exist?
Hey, some of them made sense. Like I said, it's still a lot more shows out there that have like dark theories and conspiracies and whatever the case may be. But comment down what's your favorite show, what's your favorite character, and what's your year. Hey, if y'all literally comment 2008, bro, y'all ain't gonna make it. And there's more. Yeah, it is. But like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, more videos on the way. Time to hit. But make sure you share this video. Send me some more reactions to react to. And yeah, this thing. Peace.